Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, September 19th, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Man, did Rams Head hit it out of the park with the inaugural Annapolis Songwriters Festival this weekend. Aside from that one woman on Facebook, because, there has to be one, everybody was raving about it, from the musicians to the attendees and even just people that were in town walking by and were like, wow, this has got a great vibe. They had no idea. I have to believe they're starting to plan for an expanded one in 23, right about now. Unreal weekend. Well done, Rams Head. All right, we do have some news, so let's get into it, shall we? The Maryland Attorney General is investigating the third officer-involved fatal shooting in Anne Arundel County in the past year. Just before 2:30 a.m. on Saturday, the Anne Arundel County Police were called to the 4100 block of Sands Road in Harwood for a domestic dispute. The female victim said that her husband tried to strangle her and that she fled to a nearby home. And as they were responding, their son called to say that the suspect had fled into a nearby woods with a gun. Police did arrive and shots were fired, striking an unoccupied police car. The suspect did emerge from the woods and refused to put down the gun. Ultimately, he pointed it at a group of officers and several officers fired, striking the suspect. He did point it toward another group of officers who also fired at the suspect. The suspect did die at the scene. With any fatal police shooting, the police go silent as the case falls into the Attorney General's hands. We should know the name of the suspect and the officers involved in the shooting a little bit later on this week, and the body-worn camera footage should be made available to us by the end of the month. The woman who says she was strangled was taken to a hospital and released. St. John's College President Nora Dem-Leitner announced that the college has found and named a new director for the Mitchell Gallery. Peter Nesbitt, an art museum director name if I've ever heard one, has a vast background in arts administration and is an award-winning art historian. He comes to Annapolis by way of D.C., where he was the executive director for the Washington Project for the Arts. Currently, the Mitchell Gallery is hosting only online exhibits, as they do plan to reopen in person to the public in 2023. And if you're not familiar with this gem, you definitely want to check it out. You want to go to sjc.edu/Mitchell Gallery, and that's MITCHELL. 2 L's in Mitchell. Boy, what is it with incumbent congressmen? None of them seem to want to debate or participate in any town halls this election. In the 1st District, challenger Heather Mazur has been after Congressman Andy Harris for months, but he has always declined or figured out a way to weasel out of doing it. Challenger Eurypsy Morgan in Maryland's 3rd District has been trying to get Congressman John Sarbanes to chat, but to no avail. And in the 2nd District, Congressman Ruppersberger has been avoiding any debates with his challenger, Nicolee Ambrose. All of them are probably pretty safe in their seats, and from what I see, I have to ask, what are they afraid of? They hopefully have a record they're proud and can stand behind. None of them represent me, but I'll tell you, if I was in their districts, I might want to find out the why before casting my vote. A few weeks ago, we told you that Bed Bath & Beyond would be shuttering 150 or so of their underperforming stores. Well, that first list is out so far, and Maryland stores are safe. They released a list of 56 stores, with the nearest stores to us being Leesburg and Christiansburg, Virginia. But we do still have 100 more stores to go, and our fingers are crossed that we don't lose any of the ones here in Anne Arundel County. I do hope you caught the local business spotlight on Saturday with Heather Skipper from the Naval Academy Business Services Division. Up on this Saturday is John Wojcik, who just wrote a book and started a company with the same name, Mission Next. And we did drop a bonus pod on Friday with Brendan from the Maryland Seafood Festival. Rise Up in Arnold was so busy, we ended up recording standing in the parking lot on the trunk of my car. It's kind of funny, but it came out pretty good. But the crab soup cook-off is back on, and there's a whole bunch more good stuff coming up. You want to give that a listen, and when you do get your tickets, you want to use the code I5, that's EYE and the number 5, to save $5 off of that $15 admission. All right, that is a wrap, and thank you first and foremost. And also a quick thank you to our sponsors for today's Daily News Brief, Solar Energy Services, Scout and Molly's, who actually I'll be speaking with in a few hours for a local business spotlight, and the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long End Foster Company. And now, Alsina from CovingtonAlsina is here with your Monday Money Report. And of course, we have George Young from DCMDVA Weather here with your locally forecast weather. All that's coming up in just a bit. Hang tight.
Ready for a new look for those end-of-summer parties? Come see us at Scout and Molly's. I'm Betsy Abraham. My mom and I own and operate this great little boutique at the Annapolis Town Center. After spending the last 2 years shopping online, come enjoy a fun, in-person shopping experience with a bonus, real customer service. We'd love to help you pick out the perfect outfit for back-to-school Annapolis boat shows and nights out with your friends. Scout and Molly's, Annapolis Town Center. Thanks for shopping local.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, September 19th. It was a great weather weekend for the Annapolis region, and the week ahead will be nice as well, with true fall-like conditions coming Friday through the weekend. Look for sunshine and warm temps today with 84 to maybe 90 degrees 4 p.m. highs, with more sun and 82 to 88 Tuesday, with another warm sunny day Wednesday with highs mid to upper 80s, ahead of a cold front coming through Thursday with more 80s for highs and possibly some showers and storms as well, with much cooler air than behind the front, with highs only near 70 degrees Friday through Sunday, with lows in the 40s and 50s across the region each morning, Friday through Sunday mornings. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with our website at dcmdvaweather.info. And definitely be sure to download our DCMDVA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Inflation reports came in higher than expected, with the Consumer Price Index up 8.3% over last year. This has stoked fears of increased Fed tightening or rising interest rates. It is widely expected that the Fed will raise rates by 0.75% next week. As we've discussed before, increasing rates can trigger a recession or contraction of the economy. Historically, when the government and the Fed work together, the economy can achieve a soft landing, or slowing of the economy while keeping inflation under control and unemployment low. When the government continues to spend heavily, as with the misnamed Inflation Reduction Act and the recent student loan forgiveness program, the Fed has been forced to sharply raise rates, plunging the economy into a recession. The same things that work when the economy is good work in recession. First, increase your employment opportunities by building and keeping in contact with your professional network, adding to your knowledge base with new skills and certifications, and brushing up your resume and LinkedIn profile. Next, look at your personal finances. Build emergency savings, ideally to 6 months of living expenses. Pay down credit card debt and, if possible, Pay off your cards in full every month. Look into increasing your credit limits and even opening a home equity line of credit to provide funds if the worst happens. Finally, don't look at your statements. If you must, look at the number of shares you have instead of the dollar amount. If you are working, this is a phenomenal time to invest. With every paycheck, you're buying into your 401k at a 20% discount. If you can't help yourself and do look at your accounts, you may notice that both stocks and bonds are down right now. Usually, diversification, owning multiple types of investments, provides a buffer because when one asset class is down, another is often up. Bonds are going down right now because interest rates are rising. It makes sense when you think about it. Why would someone pay the same for your bond at 3% when they can buy a new bond at 5%? This doesn't mean you should get out of bonds altogether. In fact, rising rates can work in your favor over time. As bonds mature and the principal is paid back to the bondholder, new bonds can be purchased with a higher interest rate or yield. Over time, the bonds in your portfolio will pay out more interest than they were before rates started rising. Your action item this week is to finalize your tax return if you haven't already done so. The deadline is October 15th if you're on extension. Once your return is final, check with your withholdings and make sure they are in line with your tax bill. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and check out our website at CovingtonAlsina.com. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. All performance references historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt.
One of the biggest questions I'm getting asked right now, what is going on with the housing market? Well, when the interest rates jumped up 2 percentage points, mortgage payments went up 20% for the same home. This is starting to have an effect on the number of buyers we are seeing, with 10% fewer home sales than last spring. However, our inventory is 25% lower than the same time last year. What does all this mean? There are more home buyers than homes on the market, so prices are still increasing. Now more than ever, it's time to work with someone who can guide you with solid, proven advice. Wisdom, proactiveness, and intense marketing make a huge difference. Please give us a call today and let us help you navigate these waters. We promise to educate and guide you with your best interest at heart.
That's another moving moment with Kristi Neidhardt of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company. To get in touch, call 410-599-1370 or visit kn-team.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.